Alright, what's up, everybody? Uh, just got done watching the UFC 171, and this was a pretty good card, or at least the main fight was. But to talk about the whole card, I have to start with Pennington versus the Andrade fight, the girl fight, pretty much. The only one on the card. And that was the first fight I watched. Everything before that, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I just, I didn't get a chance to see Bubba get his ass kicked, which is too bad. But I watched the girl fight, very good fight. You know, it's funny, these women, I don't think they have the upper body strength of men. That's why they're able to just brawl the whole time. And I thought it was a great fight. I missed the first round, but I was surprised Jessica won. It was probably because of those takedowns, which is funny because that's kind of what sealed the deal in a couple fights. But to the next one after that was Kelvin Gastelum versus Rick Story. I'm actually on. I'm a member of CounterMove.com, and I actually betted on Rick Story on that. So I kind of thought, hey, he trains with GSP and all those guys up there, and he's had some pretty good. He's been through some pretty good wars in the past, and I figured, you know, he's got the experience. I thought he'd be able to take out Kelvin, or maybe not take him out, but maybe like edge him out in a decision. But Kelvin was just on a whole another level. I mean, I think Kelvin got a little. I think he got a little too sure of himself at one point, because he was leaving his chin up pretty high, and I know Kelvin was pretty fast. I think that's what his defense was mainly based off of. But yeah, he definitely got dropped in that second round, and I thought he just got a little too overconfident. That's what I was looking for. And but yeah, I think he definitely won that fight. I think next time he won't make the same mistake as, you know, keeping his chin up. You know, I think next time, you know, he's already tasted the pain of being overconfident by getting dropped. So yeah, he's not gonna do that next time, and he's definitely gonna be a lot more dangerous in his next fight. All right, to get to the main card now. I missed out on the same Prue fight again because I watched the fights at the UFC gym. So on the way there, I kind of missed out on that fight. And apparently, oh wow, same Prue. Apparently he won by 1 minute submission in 1 minute. Okay, yeah. So okay, I don't feel that bad now. I thought I got there really late or something. And then, Jake Shields versus Hector Lombard. I again betted on Hector Lombard on the CounterMove.com, and I thought, you know, Jake Shields, I don't know what happened, but he's just gotten so much like skinnier, kind of, in a way. He doesn't look as strong as maybe he used to be, and I just kind of figured. But at the same time, I thought that maybe he'd be able to possibly out-grapple Lombard just because of what he did in his last fight against, I think it was Damian Maia. But Hector Lombard, like, I'm surprised he didn't knock out Jake Shields, really. I think he should have. If he actually did try, I think he probably could have knocked him out. His judo looked really good. He was throwing Jake Shields all over the place. I didn't think Jake Shields was going to stand with Lombard, but I did not think he was going to get thrown around like that. That was the biggest surprise for me. But Hector Lombard looked real good. He played it real GSP safe. Just made sure he did enough to win, which is real smart. A lot of people didn't like it, but you know, it's smart. Since he didn't take that much damage, we'll probably see him a lot sooner. So yeah. On the Diego Sanchez Miles Jury fight, I thought that was I really liked Diego when he walked out. He didn't do it all like, yeah, he was really pumping himself up. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like whenever you see Diego Sanchez, you're always going to see, the minute he walks out, he's him 24/7, like all 3 rounds, that's him. But I thought Jury was going to win, so I bet on him again. And so on the main card, my bets were pretty cool to me. Jury, he just you could really tell that he had like every gym, they all have certain qualities that each fighter kind of possesses in a way. Like you see a lot of guys that go up to Canada and train with GSP, and usually they have pretty decent wrestling. And then you see at Alliance Gym, like Dominic Cruz, for instance, he's got very good footwork. You could see the same footwork with Jury. And even Gustafsson, they have very good footwork over there. He was able to, like Diego Sanchez. I mean, I've always thought Diego Sanchez's striking has always been very mediocre. I think the only reason he's he's been on that level is because he has great cardio, great wrestling. We haven't really been seeing his wrestling as much as we used to, but it's mainly because he's not a great fighter, but he's a great brawler. And when he turns the fight into a brawl, it really is just a flip of a coin. But in this fight, Jury was fighting real smart. He didn't give him really any chances to get into a brawl because of that footwork. So he was just able to kind of pick him apart. And this fight was kind of forgettable. But for Jury, that was a big fight for him. We're probably going to see him fight someone in the top 10 in his next one. Okay, next up is the Carlos Condit versus Tyron Woodley. Okay, Carlos Condit is one of my favorite fighters, and on paper, I think he possibly should have won this. So I bet on him, but obviously, man. All right, before we get to the whole injury part, the first round, it was like a Carlos Condit fight. He went out there and obviously he got taken down, and it just seems like anyone with any decent wrestling could take him down. I think he's a real good striker, but I think he's just too long and slim, and I think because of that, maybe he's not that strong, like grappling wise, maybe. But he was getting taken down. He was getting I wouldn't say beat up, but he definitely right off the bat, he took a huge right hand, and I think he took in that round at least two of those. Two right hands, which I was surprised. Like, he tends to get beat up, like taken down and then beat up down there, but I usually don't see him catch shots like that standing up, so I was really surprised that happened. And you know what? He didn't look as good as he did in the Catman fight. In the second round, though, he did look at the beginning, of course, he did look pretty good. Up until that takedown that Woodley got, which started the knee problem, and then Condit got back up and then he Woodley kicked his leg, and I guess the pivoting of his foot is what really did it. I don't know if it was hurt before and then now it's torn. Like maybe it was partially torn when he went down and then it went full torn. Because the way the doctors and everyone was kind of acting, it just seemed like everyone kind of knew it was blown out. But that was really too bad because it looked like Carlos was really starting to get his groove going, and Woodley's starting to look a little bit tired. So I still kind of think, though, like Woodley was looking a little tired, but I still think possibly Woodley still could have maybe won by decision because it was only 3 rounds. If it was 5 rounds, I'd probably give it to Carlos Condit. But Woodley in 3 rounds, I still think he probably could have won if Carlos Condit hadn't got hurt. All right. And most importantly, the final fight. Wow, I got to say that this is probably going to be the fight of 2014 right here. Best fight of the night. It was a great fight. And I really had to give it to Robbie Lawler because either way, we all know Johnny Hendricks was going to come out there and he was going to fight. But no one really knew how Robbie Lawler was going to exactly do. We knew he was going to go out there and throw some bombs sooner or later in the fight, but we didn't really know. Like, he took the fight to Hendricks. Maybe not in round 1. He was kind of going backwards a little bit. Round 2, I think he was going a little bit backwards, but I got to tell you for sure, in that 3rd round, he was going forward. He was just... It was just funny because these guys were just standing right in front of each other. They were not really... Especially Robbie. He was not afraid of Hendricks' power at all. If anything, Hendricks was a little bit scared of Lawler because he was being pushed back. I mean, he was hitting Lawler and still moving backwards. Like, you would think Hendricks punching somebody, they would back up and he would go forward, but he was going backwards. I have to say, though, Hendricks was landing some very keen combinations. They look really good. Throwing a lot of kicks. I think that was part of his game plan. A lot of kicks, mixing them up with punches, and then he was mixing up punches with feints to go into the takedown, and then coming back up with punches, which was really good. So yeah, he's got a lot of really good combinations. Robbie, I did like his boxing, but I would have liked it if he'd thrown just every now and then, just throw a kick. Like every now and then when you push Hendricks back, just throw a kick. I think the whole fight may have thrown like 3 kicks, maybe. I would have liked it if he threw some kicks to the legs. Maybe every now and then throw one high. But other than adding in some kicks every now and then, I think Robbie Lawler did a great fight. Personally, I think Hendricks won the first 2 rounds. I thought Robbie won the next 2. And then at the last round, I think Hendricks, striking-wise, I think he edged him out. He just threw a little bit more strikes at the end. Plus, he got that takedown. And I think that's what sealed the deal for him. But you know what's funny is when he fought GSP, one of his arguments against why he won was because of the damage. He says, "Look at my face, and then look at GSP's." And then the funny thing is, if you were to have that same argument now, if you were to say, "Look at my face and look at his," Robbie Lawler would obviously be the clear victor. So that's just kind of me throwing something out there that's kind of funny. But yeah, it was a great fight all in all. I hope that they do the same thing with Robbie Lawler that they're doing with Gustafsson. Maybe Robbie Lawler can fight like a top 10 guy. Hopefully he wins, and then throw somebody to Hendricks. He wins, and then maybe we could see a rematch. And because Carlos Condit, since he's out, I mean, I don't think Woodley should get a title shot that quick, especially to a victory like that. So I think everyone needs to fight one more person, and then I'd love to see a rematch. Because other than this, I mean, I don't really see Hendricks, like, exciting-wise, I don't really see him fighting anyone as exciting as Robbie. Because he's going to bring the fight to him. So it's going to be an even fight. Like I think a lot of people might back up against Hendricks, especially Rory McDonald. But yeah, that's my review of UFC 171. I thought all the fights were pretty okay, but really at the end of the day, we're all here for the main card, and we got the fight we wanted. So it was an okay card, all in all.